Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome to my platform, Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV. Yeah, I greet you. I greet you at your location time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And for those people who are already sleeping, good night. Yeah, happy Sunday to you guys. I hope it is well. Yeah, it shall be well for us. Ẹ káàbọ̀ lórí ètò tí màá máa sọ gbogbo ẹ̀pọ̀ náà ní àti Yorùbá àti English. So kẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn tí ò gbọ́ Yorùbá fáǹfààní àwọn tí ò gbọ́ Yorùbá kán lè gbọ́ ti English. So ẹ má bá mi ká lọ, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ tẹ́ bá ti ń rí ètò yìí ẹ bá mi pín, please share it out, let it go viral. Bàbá wa ọlọ́lá jùlọ prophet Wole Soyinka lóbúlọ̀rẹ́ wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ sókè. So ohun tàdé ń fẹ́ náà nìyẹn. Àwọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn bàbá wa náà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ sókè, ẹ̀rù ò bà wọ́n mọ́, a ti kì wọ́n láyà. Àwa ọmọ wọn a ti kì wọ́n láyà pé kò sẹ́rù kò séwu lóko àfi gìrì àparò, kò séwu lóko àfi gìrì àparò. So àwọn bàbá wa wọ́n ti gbóhùn sókè, wọ́n ní ká pín náà ni kí àlàáfíà kó lè jọba nílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, kó ní kálukú kó dọ́mù yẹ̀mú, kó ní kálukú kó jórúkọ bàbá ẹ̀. Ohun tó dẹ̀ dá náà nìyẹn, káǹfààní lè jọba. À ń preach peace, à ń preach justice, kò sí justice fún àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù. So ìdí èyí máa fún yín ní fídíò yẹn. Ṣe mọ̀ pé àwa máa sọ̀rọ̀, a dẹ̀ máa fi backup sí ìdí, a máa fi evidence sí. We don't talk without no evidence. So lórí ètò yìí ẹ ti mọ̀ pé ẹ máa rọ́gbọ́n kán bẹ̀. Ètò tiwa ọgbọ́n ni, tàbá dẹ̀ ṣe mú wá lọ́lọ́kan ọ̀jọ̀kan, ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ, ẹ máa follow wa lórí page wa Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV, lórí YouTube, lórí Facebook Timo Starboy Reality Blog. So a máa ń blog nǹkan rere ni, àwọn òkín a máa ń blog ẹ̀ dáadáa. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ ṣe ìwà tí ò tọ́ náà, a blog yín náà, a gbé sáyé kẹ́yìn náà lè rí. Kò sí ẹni tó mọ́tàn bẹ̀tẹ̀. Jẹ́ ká ṣe rere ló da, rere ló pé, ìkà ò pé. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe ìkà fúnra wa, ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe tánà di ara wa, ká máa support ara wa ni tó bá ti kù díẹ̀ káàtó, tó bá kù gẹ̀gẹ̀. So nídìí èyí lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ohun tá à ń fà tá àti ìfàjà tán yìí náà ni a dẹ̀ máa fa gbogbo ẹ̀já tán lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà, kó má ku gbọ́n mi sí omi ò tó mọ́. Ohun tá à ń sọ náà ni pé ká pín. Nigeria is so big, you know, it's too large for one person or for one tribe to be ruling. Ká pín náà ni, so ká lè mọ bá ṣe máa bá ọ̀rẹ́ wa ṣe relationship wa. Torí gbogbo àwọn South Sudan, gbogbo àwọn èmi ní North Korea, South Korea, gbogbo náà wọ́n wà together tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ ni, they are together. Àgbà tí ìwọ dẹ̀ wọ̀ tí iná ò dú, ìwọ ń tẹ̀ mí mọ́lẹ̀, ìwọ ń gbá mi lójú, ìwọ ń tutọ́ sí mi lára, you know. Wọ́n dẹ̀ dúnadúrà, ó dẹ̀ yẹra wọn, wọ́n dẹ̀ pín sí méjì, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń bára wọn ṣe ní ẹgbẹ̀gbẹ́ náà, wọ́n ń tajà ara wọn, ń ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ fúnra wọn. So why not if not? Káà náà ká pín náà, ká ṣe bí ọmọ bọ́ ṣe ń ṣe, you know. Kò ń ṣàánà la máa kọ́ fi ṣe ìbẹ̀rẹ̀, àánà kọ̀ la máa jẹ́ òpin ẹ̀. So many places tó ti pín bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tó yẹ pé wọ́n gbádùn ara wọn. Russia náà pín, and so many others, Europe táwọn náà ti fi òpin sí pé káwọn pín náà ló dá, káwọn lè kí ìrẹ́pọ̀ lè wà, káwọn lè understand ara wọn with a mutual respect. Torí bá ṣe ń tutọ́ sí wa láàrin, táwọn ń dóru mọ́ra wa, táwọn ń dúnkokò, táwọn kan máa gbéyàn pa tí ò dẹ̀ ní sí justice, ìyẹn la ní a ò fẹ́. So tá bá pín, a lè mọ iye àwa tó kù, àwa tá jẹ́ lédèlédè, you know. Orílẹ̀-èdè, nítorí pẹ̀lú orílẹ̀-èdè náà ni pé àwọn tí èdè wọn tó papọ̀, àwọn tí ìṣe wọn papọ̀, tí àṣà wọn papọ̀. Tẹ́ bá wo gbogbo àwọn tí ẹ pé country tó ń develop ní ọjọ́ òní yìí, tẹ́ bá rí gbogbo wọn, èdè wọn papọ̀ ni. Ìlú tí èmi wà Japan ni, èdè wọn papọ̀, wọn ń sọ èdè Arúbáwá kan àbí pé kán máa sọ èdè kíní, you know. Wọ́n sọ English bí báyìí, wọ́n sọ English náà, wọ́n máa ń kọ́ ní school ni. bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe English ní major language wọn, wọ́n lédè tí wọ́n tó ń sọ, wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ wọn. So nídìí èyí àwa náà fẹ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, a fẹ́ ṣe káwa náà lè move forward, ká lè rógo wa lò. tá à ń gbìyànjú àti máa jà fún náà ni pé ẹ̀tọ́ wa ní. Gbà àwọn tó kó wa pọ̀ tó jẹ́ àwọn bìtìkó tó jẹ́ slave master, wọ́n ti sọ pé lẹ́yìn ọdún bíi 100 years ipa lè pín, ó dẹ̀ ti pé ó ti lé, 2014 òun ló ti deal. So deal medicine là ń lò, we are just taking a deal medicine, medicine tó ti expire. tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ lo medicine tó ti expire, kò tí ẹ ṣe medicine nìkan, tẹ́ bá ń lo bóyá omi tó ti expire ni o, àbí juice tó ti expire ni, àbí oúnjẹ tó ti expire, ṣe mọ́ párùn yàn nú. So ó ti expire, ká dẹ̀ kó lórí imíkímí kéṣinkéṣi kó má bá wa ń bẹ̀. So ìyẹn ni àwọn ẹlòmíì wọn nílàákàyè láti gbọ́rọ̀ wa tó ń sọ pé a lè pín, a ṣe lè pín. Ọlọ́run ò lè wá pọ̀ tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀, Ọlọ́run ò sọ pé a máa wà papọ̀. Marriage ń pín, talk less of ṣe pé ìlú, marriage tó yẹ pé wọ́n tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ tó bá meet ara wọn, ìfẹ́ náà máa fi meet ara wọn, tó yẹ pé wọ́n máa wojú ara wọn, máa kíra wọn lójú. Ẹ ṣáà mọ àwọn tọkọ-tìyàwó tó máa gbéra wọn yẹ̀wò lẹ́nu, tó máa kiss ara wọn, máa romance ara wọn. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti di kó kù díẹ̀ káàtó pé bí a kò èdè àìyedè wọnú bẹ̀, kò sí nǹkan kan bẹ̀ mọ́. So oníkàlùkù á dẹ̀ àgbọ̀nà tiẹ̀ lọ, wà á lọ wá ọkọ tiẹ̀ síwájú, eléyà náà lọ wá ìyàwó tiẹ̀ síwájú. So ìyẹn ti délé ayé, bá dẹ̀ ṣe ba náà nìyẹn, bá dẹ̀ ṣe máa filẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. So kò ń ṣe pé ó di dandan gbọ̀n, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ sọ pé àbákú ni aṣọ ewúrẹ́ àbí báwo ni, àbákú laṣọ ewúrẹ́, òun lẹ máa ṣe pọ̀ nígbà tí wọ́n jẹ́ pé ìdí wà ń bẹ, àbí ẹ̀fún wà ń bẹ, àbí ògún wà ń bẹ. So nídìí èyí ẹ jẹ́ kí n play fídíò di kíní bàbá wa chief professor Wole Soyinka ń tán sọ lórí kíní tán lọ, meeting tán lọ. Torí gbogbo àwọn olórí ló wà ń bẹ, àwọn Fúlàní wà ń bẹ, àwọn Ìgbò náà wà ń bẹ, Haúsá wà ń bẹ, gbogbo wọn náà wà ń bẹ lórí meeting yẹn, lórí meeting tán ṣe. So wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe àlàyé tiwọn náà. A dẹ̀ ti rí i pé àwọn tó wà ní south wa tó yẹ kí wọ́n jó lórí wa náà, èdè tí ń yé wọn, gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ ó ti ń hàn sí wọn, ó ti ń transparency sí wọn pé ohun táwọn ọmọ yìí máa ń jà fún òótọ́ mà ní, òótọ́ ló wà ń bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n ti rí tán, àwọn làwọn jókòó táwọn sì ń sùn, àwọn làwọn sì ń sùn lórí ìjókòó, lórí ibùsùn wọn, sí pé wọn tají. Àwọn ọmọ yìí àṣé wọ́n gbọ́n jù àwọn lọ. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ọmọdé gbọ́n àgbà gbọ́n la fi dálẹ̀ Ifẹ̀. So ìgbà míì gan, ọmọdé míì gan, n tó máa rí àgbà ò ní rí, torí ní ìrírí tó ti rí, gbogbo inspiration, gbogbo èmi ní adventure tó ti lọ, tó ti rìn kiri, tó ti rí gbogbo kíní promise and fail, tó dẹ̀ rí pé eléyìí ibi tó ti ṣubú yìí kó tún dìde, ibi tó ti ṣubú á tún dìde, á tún tẹ́rù ara ẹ̀ pa pé òun ò gbọ́dọ̀ tún ṣubú mbẹ̀ yẹn. So á dẹ̀ tún máa knowledge, á tún máa gorí knowledge. Wọ́n ní ibi tí èèyàn bá rìn dé, ibẹ̀ náà lèèyàn máa mọ̀ dé. So àwa ń sìn àti káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé, kò ṣe gbogbo ìlú la káàkiri ọ̀bẹ̀ tá a ti lọ sí igun mẹ́rin àti wò pé bó ṣe rí nì. So ìyẹn la ṣe ń gbé experience wa, la ṣe ń gbé wá. Kò dẹ̀ ṣe pé agbọ́n tán náà, kò yẹ pa mọ̀ tán náà, bẹ́ẹ̀ tí tọ́lọ̀ fi yé wa náà làánà fi ń ta ọmọ aráyé lóore, la fi gbé platform lẹ̀ pé ká máa fi teach ara wa, each one teach one ni. So eléyìí ní fún díẹ̀ yìí àwọn àgbààgbà ti ń fẹnu kò, nítàdé ń fẹ́ náà nìyẹn, káwọn àgbààgbà wa, àwọn ọba lọ́ba wa kán fẹnu kò. So ẹ rí pé nídìí eléyìí gan, èébú gan á tún minimize, wọn ò ní máa bú wọn mọ́ torí wọ́n ti tají. Gbogbo bọ́n ṣe ń gbé wọn ṣépè tán ń sọ pé ẹ dìde, tán fún wọn lábàrá lójú oorun pé ẹ dìde, ẹ ti ń sùn ju ẹ̀yin bàbá yìí, ẹ̀yin gan ló yẹ kẹ́ lead kínní yìí, ẹ̀yin gan ló yẹ kẹ́ fẹnu sí, So tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ fẹnu sí nǹkan ètò ní tò, á kàn dàbẹ́ ní pé àwọn ilé kan wọ́n kàn pariwo lásán ni. Àwọn ọmọ yín tó ń ta yín jí pé bàbá ẹ dìde lẹ̀, ọjọ́ ti ń lọ. This is a morning time to wake up and do something tangible, do the needful. So ìbàdàn dẹ̀ ti ń tají báyìí, inú wa ń dùn. Rí pé àní máa tàbùkù wọn mọ́, gbogbo àwọn lọ́balọ́ba, gbogbo àwọn elders wa, àwọn leaders and leaders wa, tó bá ti ń ṣe normal thing, tó ti ń ṣe needful, so kò ní sẹ́ni tó máa tàbùkù wọn mọ́, kò ní sẹ́ni tó máa sọ̀rọ̀ sí wọn mọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ gidi la máa sọ síra wá ń sìn, àlàyé gidi la máa ṣe sí fún ara wa. So táwọn náà bá dẹ̀ ní lọ́wọ́, wọ́n á ṣàlàyé fún wa, wọ́n á kọ́ wa bá ṣe lè ṣe. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. A dẹ̀ ń dúpẹ́, gbogbo tá à ń sọ náà ó ti ń wá sí ìmúṣẹ. Gbogbo eré tá à ń sá, gbogbo ẹkún tá à ń sun fún wọn náà, àwọn náà ti ń gbọ́, wọ́n ti ń wá ọ̀nà sí. So gbogbo ẹ̀ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá rere, ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá àtàtà, tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá pàpàǹlágí, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá àwọn ọ̀ràn mi gidi tó ẹ́ pé orí wọn pé, torí ọmọ ládé làwa náà. So aládé ni wá, adé orí wa kò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ yí lérí ẹ̀pẹ̀. Olórí ni wá, orí wa a gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi tẹ̀lẹ̀, ká máa fi ṣe ilẹ̀ báṣubàṣu. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n fún yín ní fídíò yìí, kẹ́ má sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ mi pọ̀ jù, ká lè tún mọ next step. So ẹ máa gbádùn ètò wa o, ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ. Ẹ dẹ̀ máa gbàgbé, ẹ leave comment yín. Comment is very important. Ìyẹn náà ló jẹ́ a lè máa fi ṣe communication wípé à ń gbọ́ra wa yé. Torí tí ẹ bá ń wò, tẹ́ ẹ kàn leave comment, tẹ́ ẹ dẹ̀ share kí lè retí wa. Ọ̀dọ́ náà a monetize ẹ̀, a gbowó lórí ẹ̀, a kàn ń ṣe fún voluntarily ni, fáwọn wípé bọ́lọ̀ ṣe ní ká ṣe, bó ṣe rán wa, kò ní ká gbowó, kò dẹ̀ ní ká gbòbí sí. So ẹni wo wárápá kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbòbí, ẹni tó dẹ̀ wo wèrèpè náà kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbòbí, torí kó má dà lé lórí ni, kó má dà láwọn ọmọ ẹ̀, àwọn ẹbí ẹ̀ lórí. Òun náà ṣe ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. So nídìí èyí, ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ, kẹ́dẹ̀ máa gbádùn ètò wa, ẹ máa bá wa share ẹ̀. God will bless you all. Thanks. Okay, so let me put the video up here and listen to Professor Wole Soyinka, our great father. So
Did you need this one?
Please.
Video yẹn lélẹ̀ Cherry.
Thank you very much.
Center kan náà wà yẹn tó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ Cherry.
Some hope, but we dare not.
Ṣé ti rí iṣẹ́ hàn dáadáa? Peace and unity là ń wá.
A narrative.
A dẹ̀ ń wá equal right.
I begin by pleading guilty to an obsessive problem. It's called media language. As one who is routinely traumatized by encountering his own words reworked into imagined equivalents, duly enhanced and augmented, even with the best and honest intentions, but which actually end up reading the opposite of intent, that obsession with media language is quite understandable. Fortunately, the preliminary we're engaging now is not personalized, so I shall proceed. As gently as I can, and through examples from the press itself on what is reported and how, to induct you into how the national psyche can actually be programmed, rewired, so to speak, into absorbing the freakish, the grotesque into its digestive system, so that it becomes assimilated as the norm. The process is mostly imperceptible, but the results are manifested in conduct, values, relationships, in both the private and the public domain. Language is part of the enabling factors of such social disfigurement. That is obvious, since language is the basic currency of social exchange. The print media has a very special responsibility in this respect. As the communication field blows wide open, instantly and promiscuously accessible, it becomes a very huge responsibility. That new field is patronized by the knowledgeable and the vacuous, the purpose-oriented and the dilettante, the nihilist as well as the builder. By contrast to the general field, a technological one, known as the social media, the print remains the product of a long tradition of discipline and commitment, no matter how suspect and sometimes unpalatable or disagreeable its choices in political partisanship might be. The real veterans of the species often become famous for what is known as a house style. Each consciously aspires to credibility among its peers, respect, and even among its competitors. When it slips up, the print media at least makes effort to clean up its act, or else confront retribution. In sum, each member of that estate strives not to lower the sensibilities of the humanity it claims to serve. This is where the issue of language comes in. The secret sign of progress is when one finds that the frequency of certain reprehensible expressions has diminished and eventually even vanishes altogether. Retrogression is when certain replacements are introduced through imitation and they attain a currency through sometimes just ignorance of the effect and sometimes even a craving to be part of the crowd. These days, for instance, it is unlikely that you will find an account of a motor accident which reports that many passengers were roasted alive or roasted to death. Yet, after a few years ago, the print media was almost competitively awash with it. It was almost as if journalists were in the hunt for nothing else, I beg your pardon, but these fiery road shows, just so that they could splash the supposed barbecue party across their pages. And so it was quite a shock for me to encounter, just a few days ago, yet another innovation along that perverse valuation of human life. Perhaps it was just an isolated slip in standards, but it struck me as a reflection of the state of the collective conscious of a fast unraveling station, a condition that provoked my recent novel, Chronicles from the Land of the Happiest People on Earth. Hopefully, some of you have come across it. It quite rightly earned comments such as a lavish exercise in the vein of gallows humor. However, that work belongs to the realm of fiction, not daily reportage. It was perhaps unfortunate that this was one of those occasions that I chose to browse through the newspapers after a stretch of absence, just to acclimatize myself with a whiff of environmental fragrance. And, well, what did I hope to expect? Morbidity as a staple diet. Now, one has become accustomed to that. It's a reality in our society. However, there was one headline that instantly leapt out. Yet another one of those mystery deaths. The casualty? A young female graduate on her way to Europe. Without any conscious effort, my mind flew instantly to certain precedents. First, to that student victim of the fanatic lynch mob in Sokoto, Deborah Samuel. Next, further back, to yet another student, Cynthia, who was lured into a hotel on Victoria Island and was drugged, robbed, raped, and strangled. Her killers were also youths.
What a horrible act.
Around her own age.
What a horrible acting.
I paused, took a deep breath, then proceeded to immerse myself in details. It turned out that this was not a Deborah scenario, and it vastly differed from the Cynthia exercise in murder via virtual encounters. This is related neither to the lucrative ritual killing and trafficking in human parts, as celebrated in that earlier novel, that work, Chronicles of the Land of the Happiest People on Earth.
Sorry, guys. They come.
Restructuring is bruited around.
There's nothing different from what we have been saying than this our Professor Wole Soyinka have said now.
Well, I don't even like the word
restructuring. We are saying the same thing. We are in the same page now.
Expressions like reconfiguration,
let's break up
decentralization,
and make peace.
Everybody can grasp that.
Otherwise, there won't be any peace.
And those who lead us, they recognize the necessity of it.
Apparently, the peace is coming up
almost the inevitability of it.
The breaking up of Nigeria is coming up gradually.
Yes.
And this is what is going to be resort to, you know, so that we can live in peace and harmony. We need peace among ourselves. By breaking up that
reconfiguration,
contradiction that they make,
decentralization,
the contract that
all this is necessary in order to maximize development.
Their plantation.
We speak about food hunger because it is real.
Please share. Love and light.
Palliatives are temporary stopgap policies. They do not reach to the heart of the problem, which is one of decentralized development as massively as possible. I've attended food conferences, workshops really, all over the world, from Makerere to India, even to Paris, to Sochi, at least conferences in which the whole issue, and Munich, the issue of food security has been addressed. And we've found the consensus is that collectivization is an obsolete word.
Can you hear
especially
that?
When it comes to food production and access to food. So reconstruction, decentralization is not a slogan. And it is time that we stop the pretend decentralization conferences, which have been proved to be mere distractions, especially by those who have a different agenda in mind, such as third term agenda.
Different agenda, greediness.
It does not mean that nothing of value has come out of some of the conferences we've had in the past. No. So the tomes are there. People have worked at proposals in spite of even knowing that they've been brought together for a charade. I can tell you about even my own Oba, one of our Obas there, close to me in Ogun State. He came to me and said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And we've nominated you to go and represent us. I said, where? He's going nowhere. He came back later. I said, you were right. I said, proper wayo. He said, they wasted our time. So they fed us well. They gave us allowances. I said, but it was all a waste of time. It's about time, I think, at this nation, that leaders stop taking this nation for a ride. We must decentralize. Security, has become a bugbear. from all corners of the nation, that is the cry. Decentralize, simply so that government can come closer to the people and productivity can really be manifested as a product of citizens, not simply as a manna from heaven. That is the attitude that obtains at the moment. Let me, so that, yes, I know that the fear is one of collapse, breakup. That's been the excuse being given by several regimes. But suppose the nation is breaking up informally. In other words, as a fact, rather than as theory. Then hadn't you better just address this, come straight on and see exactly what happens? What is wrong with genuine representatives sitting down and saying, this should be the protocols of association. Anything outside of it, anyone who does not want to accept these protocols, abide by these protocols, and manifest these protocols in the act, should take a walk. I have no problem at all.
コンシェルジュがお申し込みを徹底サポート。
Sorry guys. Disturbance. Sorry guys. I'm really sorry about this interruption. Okay, let's continue.
What is known as a nation, beginning as a vast football field and ending up as a ping pong table. If that is going to restore dignity to citizens, if that is going to guarantee 3 square meals a day, then so be it. One of my favorite expressions, which people say is extreme, is let nations die, that humanity may live. It's something.
That's a great point.
Finally, because I know some people will be very disappointed if I do not at least end up touch on this subject.
Tell us what you feel, what you think, what suggestion about this
just
video.
a little postscript.
Your comment
And
is
it
very
goes
important.
in the form
Please
of the
drop it.
transmission to you of an exchange. You see, we have a problem. We began with the issue of
We should
language,
be looking for
and it's a serious one,
justice,
because you
not
can
for peace.
actually
Only peace
transform
alone
humanity
cannot
if language
fight
is used
anything.
in the right, humanized
Only
way.
peace alone cannot
And
fight
so, and
corruption.
also, for us even to get to the stage
It is
of
justice.
using language as
Justice must
humanized,
reign
we have to
before
ensure
the peace
free flow
come up.
of information,
That
of
is
communication, which is the
our
reason
preaching.
why some of us have taken the trouble to gather here
Without
today in
justice,
a mood
there is no
of
peace.
celebration. So, the postscript. I said earlier that free speech is constantly under threat, and sometimes we're looking in the wrong way. We wake up only when atrocities on the level of the murder of a champion of democracy, a champion of free speech, a critic of authoritarianism is murdered in a cell. Takes our mind also to similar events here, MK Abiola, Yaradua, whose deaths are supposed to be mysterious, but we all know what happened. And so Putin can talk from here to eternity and make all this. So he's finally handed over the body, thank goodness, for small mercies. But sometimes civil society is its own worst enemy when it comes to freedom of speech.
That's great.
You say something unpalatable here, and the next moment you hear that your ancient grandmother's house in your village has been burnt down. Well,
They pick
that
you
is
up.
censorship
DSS.
in a terminal form. And so
DSS will come and pick you up for saying the truth.
beside this
Yeah?
little exchange.
This
It's
is
between two
absurd.
people. Let's call one a
this
handler.
cannot be
The other,
tolerated.
troll.
It cannot be accepted.
Handler. Your online
no justice.
performance was pathetic. We expected better from you. We expect better from you this time round. True. Sir, I did my best. Handler, which came best? Your orders were to get online and scatter him to the four winds. True. With all due respect, sir, easier said than done. I did not understand what the man was saying. Handler, did anyone ask you to understand anything? We said, whenever he opens his mouth, don't care about the subject, just jump down his throat. End of dialogue. Now, a friendly message. Be very careful.
Guys, pick one of two things
The
from
apt
this.
expression,
Our
slightly
Norel,
adapted, goes,
Noble Norel,
think before you leap.
Soyinka.
Especially down
Pick one or
the
two things.
time
You learn
weathered
one or two
throats
things from his speech.
that you encounter.
So our great father,
You may end up
in,
being swallowed intact
L'Oreal,
without any condiments, then expelled through the rear end of the human anatomy. End of message. Thank you very much.
So that is it. That is it for today. So let me close up. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, we shall meet in peace and continue our journey of freedom. And freedom will prevail. Apparently, we are moving towards the freedom of humanity. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Bye. Enjoy your weekend.